So now we saw an example story. Let's read the topic that we're going to write about. So, you went camping with your friends in a forest. You were happy in the beginning until you saw a mysterious haunted house and you decided to enter it. Then everything changed upside down. So write the story describing what happened inside. So first of all, let's brainstorm together. First of all, my story has to be about a haunted house and the things that you and your friends saw in there. So my title should be, let's start. So the title should be what? It should be related to the haunted house. I cannot say, for example, a visit to my grandma. Is this related to my subject? Is this related to a haunted house? No. I could say, for example, of course, this is just brainstorming with you. You don't have to write the same title. I want you to write new titles. You think of new titles. So I can say a night at the haunted house, for example. This is our title, A Night at the Haunted House, for example. The house in the forest, or the house in the spooky forest, for example. Okay, so this is just a brainstorming for titles with you. So my title has to be related to the story. Like we said, it has to be interesting. It has to grab my reader's attention. Now we start with the introduction, and of course I have to remember to leave a space in the beginning of my line. Okay, now in the introduction I introduce my characters, so you and your friends. So these are the characters. Okay, set the characters. I introduce the setting. So the characters here are you and your friends. So my setting, which is the place, time, and weather. So for the place, we said we were camping in a forest. So describe the forest. How was it? There, okay. The time. If we look at the rubric. So if this is a scary story, so it's better that the events or the action happen at night, right? Of course, you add a lot of description to this. So we said the place, we said the time, and the weather. Now this, I would leave it, of course, up to you. You could use, or you can use the expressions that we said that are in page 14 and 15. Here, you can use it to describe the weather, and remember that this is night, it's a horror story, so of course the weather shouldn't be sunny or bright or beautiful, for example. Okay, and then I introduced my characters. It's you and your friends. You introduce the setting and the place, the time, and the weather, and then I begin my story. Okay, so I begin the story. We said at first that you were camping in with your friends in a forest. So you describe the forest, you describe how you and your friends were feeling. You were happy in the beginning, and then you saw a mysterious haunted house. So you end your introduction until you see the mysterious house. Okay, this is where you end your introduction. And then we start the body, the middle. We introduce the problem. So here, or give the reader, or let's say better, make my characters face a problem. So obviously my problem is going to be inside this haunted house, and I don't want you to write things that are very imaginative. We don't want monsters and zombies, okay? Just something that is weird and a little bit realistic. For example, a weird man, you could say, a weird old man, a weird old woman. Maybe you found a criminal there. Okay, so these are all some kind of ideas. Of course, if you could, surprise us with something that is realistic and at the same time a new idea. Okay, it's all up to you. We want to see how are you going to introduce this problem to us as readers. Okay. And of course I don't forget to add description, linking words. The linking words, you said we add description to the place itself. How was it inside this house? What did we see? What did we hear? Okay, do you see those? Here we go, things that we saw, things that we heard. The things or expressions here that I can use to describe what was happening. Okay, of course I order the events, the actions that started to happen first, then later, then after that, using those words. And of course we use other words to make my writing interesting, like suddenly, out of nowhere. For example, we don't use a lot of and. Okay, we use, for example, besides, in addition. Okay, so we add the description. We use linking words, a lot of linking words. Okay, so fine. And of course I don't mention anything about my ending. So here in my body I make my characters face a problem. So I introduce the action or start the action in my story. My characters facing my problem. We said that the characters are you and your friends. You create the problem. What did you see in that house? What did you hear? What happened to you there? Okay, of course describing everything and using linking words. Fine. And then I go to my conclusion. Okay, so in the conclusion we said we're going to give a solution to this problem. So I give an ending to the story or to my problem, or a solution to my problem. Okay, of course we use linking words that are related to the conclusion here. So we can say in conclusion, or finally we escaped, for example, at last we saw the police, whatever. Okay, so this is those are linking words that I use to in my conclusion, and of course I describe my character's feelings. You could say finally we felt safe and sound, for example. Sorry. We felt worried. We did not find anyone to help us. So it's up to you how your character or you and your friends were feeling at the end. And this is it for writing a story. Okay, so I think it's very simple, it's very easy. Of course, it's a lot better if you brainstorm some good ideas before you start writing. You could search for ideas about things that you could see in the haunted house. And we said we want to keep it a little bit realistic. Okay. Of course, a lot of adjectives to describe what's happening, to describe my setting, to describe the place. Okay, and in the conclusion, I have to give a good ending to my readers. I have to give a good solution to my problem, and of course describe my character's feelings in the end. How were you feeling in the end? And I use the linking words that are related to the conclusion. So it's very simple, it's very easy. You don't have to be worried about anything. Just take care of your spelling and grammar, of course, while writing, and punctuation. It's very, very important. Don't forget to leave a space at the beginning of each and every paragraph. Leave a space between lines while writing. Don't write underneath each other. Just leave a line between each and every line that you're writing. And that's it. And the most important thing is to remember to have fun while writing. You're creating a story for us to read, so you must have fun while doing it. Okay, this was it for our lesson. Thank you very much, and see you next time.